Yeah?
Action.
All right, welcome back to another CRF rebuild video. In this one, we're gonna have a parts haul. In this box is assorted parts from all sorts of companies, mostly from eBay, and also from Faster Minis. We got some tools. So first things first, we're gonna do the fun stuff. Open this up. I just scotch taped it. Everything fit in there perfectly. So first, we got a throttle grip, throttle cable. And I mean, this was $10 on eBay, and it's like aluminum. It's really nice. The grips are like soft. Cable seems like legit. So that's actually pretty sweet. $10, throttle cable. Then we got an ignition cover. I wanted an original one, but this was also like $10. So I'll take the clear. I could always paint it if I want, but I'll just leave it for now. There's nothing in there. This is a new OEM Honda ignition, like the key, like literally the turn thingy. What do you call that? The ignition cylinder, I guess. So that's cool. I got new grips because I ordered these before realizing I needed a throttle cable. Faster Minis. And got a Pro Taper chain because it didn't come with a chain. So I got a chain. I got a gold one because gold's cool. And here. Also, impressed by cheap parts again. This is an exhaust pipe. This is the Piranha kit. I got it off of Faster Minis as well. Muffler is tucked down there. Like, I'm actually super, this was $100 I think, or 120, and it's pretty sweet. It's got a nice finish. So, I don't know, that should be pretty cool. Add some nice shiny parts. What else we got? And that's it. It comes with a clamp, so that's pretty, or a hanger, whatever you want to call it. So I'm pretty impressed by that. Hopefully I have all the hardware for this. I didn't check if that was on the motor when I bought it. So there we go. We got a bunch of parts to put on, and hopefully after all this stuff, that thing will get running. Get that out of here. And then of course, got some parts. $50 die grinder from Home Depot. That'll come in handy for Jeep stuff. Milwaukee screwdrivers, channel locks, needle nose. Don't skip on the needle nose. And finally, some discs. I'm not sure if these are the ones, but I bought them anyway for the die grinder. Again, these are going to come in handy for the Jeep, but for now, screwdrivers are going to come in handy for the dirt bike. So our plan of action is to get the exhaust on. Alex is already working on that. Just gonna tighten everything up over there. I'm gonna work on the throttle cable, and after that, we can try and fire this thing. Really all it needs 100% after that to ride it is the chain, and that's gonna be a pain in the butt. But I'd rather work on getting it started first, make sure all that's squared away. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, so we've been working at this thing for a while now. We've tried to kick it over, no luck. Went and got a multimeter and started testing some wires. We're getting power from ignition. What else did we test? Why do I forget what we did?
We tested the magneto at the bottom first.
Yeah, we got power coming from Spinny Boy. And then we have power to the ignition coil over there, which is where the spark plug wire comes from. But we know we're not getting spark because we tried it against the block, and that's just not happening. So we're pretty sure that has to be the problem if we're getting juice to the CDI and back out. We got the new key on there. So it's literally the only thing. There must be a break in the wire, or it's just it's a bad contact. I don't know. So yeah, I don't know. So unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to get this thing started, but we're still going to work on everything else. So I'm going to get the chain going. Get one of these fancy chain breakers. I've actually had this laying around for years, and it's finally come in handy. Alex is going to take a look at our coil over here, maybe try and strip the rubber off. Otherwise, we got the exhaust mounted up. What else do we have? We got the new key I said before. We got the new throttle on there. The grip is halfway on. Getting grips on sucks. And other than that coil not working, this thing is ready to go.
I'm a whirling dervish, always twirl on purpose. I'm so surface level, don't you look behind the curtains. I'm nervous like I'm Nelly. Kelly's so evil, he not a person. What would a good one consist of? I'm probably not as perfect. It's probably not in my bloodline. My faith lies as far as my fault is allowed, but truth I control where I land. I choose to be an island. I choose to pick up my plans till they all seem folly, but I guess I'll change that present to the past tense, like Paps was a bastard, flabbergasted.
So unfortunately, we're gonna take the L today. But Amazon next day, we're gonna have a new coil and a new CDI here, just to eliminate any issues. We're almost positive that we're getting electric to our coil, but for some reason it's not. There's an issue in this area here. It's gotta be something in the elbow of the wire. Other than that though, we got the chain on. Chain looks good, it's all tensioned. I do need to loosen up the front brake still, but that's no big deal. It's still rideable. And we got fresh gas in it. Exhaust, I said before. It's actually on there pretty sturdy for a zip tie. But it looks pretty good. It's just, oh, we have to get the grip on too. Oh yeah. Just about there, but we're gonna call it a day. And like I said, we got Amazon coming in clutch with the last parts. And hopefully, I'm gonna include that in this video. And hopefully we'll get this thing ripping. Alright, so it has been less than 24 hours, and through some black magic and Amazon Prime shipping, we got the last, well, not the last, but hopefully the parts to make the CRF run. So here we got an ignition coil from GoFit. I've had really good luck with this company in the past. I don't know if that's focused, I can't see the screen on here. But yeah, I've had good luck with this company in the past. They make nice, cheap carburetors. This actually seems like it's good quality. And then I just got a cheap CDI just so we can, you know, eliminate that problem also. So I'm gonna plug this stuff in and we're gonna try and kick it over. So here's a good comparison of the original Honda made in Japan ignition coil and the new GoFit. I like how, oh geez, I like how pliable this rubber is. It's not brittle and it's not gonna be annoying to route. Let's see. Connections look good. They have the boots to seal those connections up. Same exact size. The wire's a little bit longer. Looks like it's got some really good insulation on the coil, on the spark plug adapter thing, whatever you want to call that. Looks really nice. So hopefully this little seal actually keeps some crap out of that little hole too. So we're gonna throw this on real quick. I'm gonna try the CDI after, but I'm gonna throw this on real quick and see what happens. All right, what's happening, guys? It's another day. It's Monday actually, so it's late. But I ended up, I actually don't even remember what I showed, but I ended up getting a new CDI off of Amazon. It was a cheapie, and it came with the wrong plugs. So we actually chopped them off, and we tried to just kind of hot wire it basically, and it didn't work. So I actually found another deal, and it's the same CDI. However, this one actually came with a spark plug, which is pretty cool. And then the CDI itself actually has, not only does it have like a nice sheathing on it, but it actually has the plugs that will go right into the factory Honda, and then it came with a new coil too. I'm gonna have so many of these things just laying around, but I guess they're kind of good to have, I guess. So I'm here alone tonight, but I think what I'm gonna do is just try and plug in this CDI. I have that new coil on from GoFit. I didn't really show, I don't think I showed it all, trying to kick it over. Obviously it didn't start. So I'm gonna plug this guy in real quick and see if this helps us out at all. Here's a quick comparison of the two CDIs. I think this is the original Honda, and this is the new one. All right, we got coil plugged in, key is on, choke is up, fuel is now on, stand up, neutral. Not off to the best start. All right, so unfortunately, as you saw, I kicked it over and it didn't start. I pulled the spark plug out and I tried to ground it against the engine block and we had no luck. So I guess that CDI wasn't the issue. So next thing on the list, which we tested it for voltage, and that would be the stator. However, I need a whole bunch more tools like a puller, and I kind of Googled it. I don't want to. I looked up stators on Amazon and eBay, and there's a lot of like Chinese ones, which is fine, but they're all different. So I need to find like an OEM Honda one, and I don't want to spend like $100 on it because I'd almost rather just get like one of those SSR or like Lifan 125s and throw it on this thing because it'd be 10 times more fun, and I wouldn't have to be a bunch of money into it. So she's gonna sit for now. I'm gonna try and find my multimeter so I can double check the stator. If not, I'll have to borrow Alex's again. All the wiring is fine. I tried disconnecting the kill switch and the key, which is basically these 4 wires right here, and then these 2 would just be power. Those guys right there. And we tested the coil and we were getting some voltage, but not a lot. It's tucked up in there. And sometimes if you have the power wire off, you crank it over by accident and you go to plug it back in, it pops a little bit. But for some reason, there's not enough juice to get that spark plug sparking. So I'm kind of at a loss right now. Again, I got to track it back to that stator. So I think I'm gonna call it on this episode. Obviously, I'm gonna have to check into the stator. I have some new wiring coming, so I don't know. Just really want to get this thing going so I can go for a rip. If anybody has any suggestions for me, please let me know down in the comments. I'd love to get this thing going. All right, I'll catch you guys in the next one.